So you know the dream, right? Your own tiny home, a simpler life, more freedom. But what if I told you the legal key to making that happen isn't some brand new law, but it's actually just a single sentence buried in a document nobody ever reads? Well, today we're grabbing our magnifying glasses and going on a treasure hunt through the fine print to find it.
I mean, just looking at this, you can almost feel it, can't you? That small, self-sufficient life, clear night sky, and the freedom to live how you want, where you want. This is the whole promise that's powered an entire movement. But, as you probably know, that promise often gets completely snarled up in red tape.
And this is the real mystery we're digging into today. The source material for this explainer suggests the solution to the whole tiny home legal puzzle isn't about creating something new. It's about finding something that's been, let's say, deliberately hidden. And it's tucked away in the absolute last place you'd ever think to look.
Okay, so to try and fix the legal mess, a new standard was created, ICC 1125. It was rolled out as this official path forward, a way to finally design, build, and regulate tiny homes so they could be permanent residences. And on the surface, it seems like exactly what the movement has been asking for. But first, let's get our terms straight, because this is super important. The name tiny house isn't just some cool hashtag, it's an identity. And more than that, it's a legally recognized term in the International Residential Code, or IRC. This is the name the community built itself around, and as you're about to see, that detail is crucial.
Right. But then this new standard comes along and introduces a totally new term, the Small Residential Unit, or SRU for short. It's defined as a place that's 1,200 square feet or less, built to be permanent, and it can have a chassis or not. It sounds all official and everything, but it's a completely brand new, made-up term.
And here is where the battle lines really get drawn. According to our source, this isn't just a simple disagreement over words. The author claims that introducing the SRU term is nothing short of a hostile takeover, an attempt to rebrand a grassroots movement and bring it under corporate control. It's a fight for the very soul of the tiny house identity.
So the source says the real action, the real story, isn't in all the technical rules of the standard. Nope. It's in the one place almost no one ever looks, the foreword, a section that is explicitly marked as not part of the standard, a massive clue hidden in plain sight.
And here it is. This is the smoking gun, a single sentence tucked away in that foreword. At a glance, it seems to offer a helpful little tip, a possible path to an exemption. But as we're about to see, every single word in this sentence is carefully chosen and, according to our source, incredibly deceptive.
Our source argues this seemingly harmless sentence is actually a masterclass in misdirection. It's a verbal sleight of hand that effectively hides a critical legal tool, one that could empower tiny home builders today. So let's break down exactly how it does that. Okay, time to put on our detective hats and really dissect this statement, word by word. Because as our source reveals, the devil isn't just in the details here, he's practically dancing on the page.
First up, the wording. The foreword says these units may be subject to HUD code. Well, the author claims that is just plain false. They are subject to HUD code. It's not a maybe, it's a fact. And that subtle shift in language, they argue, is deliberately misleading.
Okay, this is where the legal jargon gets a little tricky, but stick with me because it's so important. The foreword talks about getting an exemption, which is something you have to apply for and can totally be denied. But the actual law gives tiny home builders the right to an exclusion, which is something you simply claim, a right you already have. It's the difference between asking for permission and declaring your independence.
So here's the crucial part. The way the foreword is written makes it sound like you need to get your local government to adopt this new ICC standard first just to qualify. The authors claim that is completely 100% untrue. The path of being excluded from HUD regulation is available right now under existing law without this new standard at all. This, they argue, just adds a pointless hurdle that only really benefits the people who created the standard.
So you really have to ask yourself, was this just an honest mistake, or was it a calculated deception? Our source makes a pretty compelling argument that you don't accidentally bury a game-changing legal tool in the fine print. You do that when you don't want people to find it.
So what is this secret path? What's the key that was supposedly hidden? According to the source, it's a federal regulation called the HUD Modular Exclusion. This, the author says, is the real solution that was obscured by that little sentence in the foreword.
To put it simply, the modular exclusion is a process where a builder can officially certify that their structure is not a HUD-regulated manufactured home. And they do this by voluntarily choosing to build it to a recognized state or local building code instead. It's basically an opt-out.
So how do you actually claim this exclusion? Well, it's a pretty straightforward four-step process. First, you certify the home is designed for a permanent foundation. Second, you prove it's not some glorified RV by making sure any towing gear is removable. Third, you build it to a recognized building code, just like any other house. And finally, you make it official by sticking a permanent certification label on it. That's it. No new standards, no big legal fights, just a clear existing path to legitimacy.
So, here it is, the bombshell. The key to legalizing tiny homes hasn't been missing this whole time. It's been right there, in plain sight, for anyone who knew where to look. The modular exclusion is basically a golden ticket, a legal pathway that exists right now, today, that allows you to build, finance, and live in your tiny home without asking for permission, without adopting a new standard, and without giving up the name and identity of the movement you love.
So, what do you think? Was this just a case of bureaucratic fumbling, or a deliberate attempt to hijack a movement? Our source has laid out all the evidence, but hey, the verdict is up to you. And for all the tiny home dreamers out there, the real question is, now that you know about the hidden key, what are you going to unlock with it?